To the world, you may be just a teacher, but to your students, you are a hero. With their tireless dedication and hard work over the past few months during COVID-19 pandemic, our teachers have proved this quote to be completely true. These unsung heroes have been really working over the past few months to protect the future of the nation, our children. My name is Ritika Jhanji Chaktiani and I'm here to host a very special show today that pays a heartfelt tribute to our teachers and also discusses how COVID-19 has brought about a much needed revolution in the education sector, not just in our country, but all over the world. I welcome you all to Amrita University Presents A Salute to My Teacher in association with Republic TV. To take this show further, I have a very eminent panel with me, and with them we will be discussing about the future of learning as it seems from today on, and not just that, also how the whole education system has changed forever. I would like to first of all start with someone who represents a brand that's considered to be a pioneer in online education in India. Please welcome Professor M.S. Krishnan Kutty. Mr. Kutty is a mentor, he's a life coach, and he is an international certified trainer. And currently he's serving as the chairman at Career Competency Development at Amrita University. Welcome to the show, Professor Kutty. We also have with us Mohammad Imran Khan, who is a teacher himself and also a self-taught app developer from Rajasthan. To his credit, he has more than 52 apps that he has donated to MHRD and also 100 educational websites that he developed on his own. Welcome to the show, Mr. Imran. And we're also being joined by Ms. Natasha Chopra, who is an education advisor and has a wealth of experience in the education sector. She is really passionate about working towards strengthening the student community. So let me begin by asking you, Professor Kutty, that where did the idea of this campaign, Salute to My Teacher, come from?
Thanks a lot. Tribute to the teachers. In my opinion, if you look at any nation for that matter, let's look at our own country, India. I, in fact, believe that there are three most important professions, noble professions, you can say. That is one of a farmer, then it's a soldier, and the third, of course, is a teacher. When you say teacher, the farmer is also taught by a teacher. The soldier is also taught by a teacher. So if one has to give 1, 2, 3 ranking for all these three professions, I would rate teacher to be on the top. And there is a saying in English that in every man's success, there is a woman behind. But I would say in every human being's success, there are quite a few teachers behind. We have number of teachers who have brought in real true citizens for our nation. And how do you repay to them? How do you give some tribute to them? Is by having such celebrations live through medias. That let's celebrate that tribute to teachers across the country, because whatever you are today is because of the teacher.
Ms. Natasha, let me now come to you. Student-teacher bond, as we all know, is really important, but even more so in these times. What would you like to say about that?
As you stated, it's a very important bond. And nowadays, even more important in this brave new world that we have, where the students are suffering from so much isolation, not only from their peer group, but also from seniors, from other juniors, from their teachers, and just a multitude of activities that generally take place and that one is so used to. So the isolation, in fact, is really leading to a lot of mental health issues as well. There are many who have adapted, especially when they have a strong support system at home, but there are others who are not being able to adapt. And because of the barriers of the way of teaching through the screen, the idea that you have to stay in fixed places without having to move at all. I mean, while we're used to it in the classroom, there is still some movement after each class of 40 minutes or so. So the whole paradigm has shifted so much, and this is taking time to adapt. And I think, therefore, the teachers need to connect with the students far more with their ability of the emotional intelligence, the understanding of what the student is going through at that time.
Professor Kuti, what has been the role of Amrita University in reconnecting students, teachers, and the community?
We wanted to get connected to those teachers who are really into that teaching learning process. What we did was we also went on live with few captions like, I myself took classes for across the parents. Every parent must know in terms of bringing up their child, what are the things they must know. So that's number one. Number two, we brought in principals to talk to all the school teachers, right, and other educationals. It's called let us hear my school. So the principals from various schools came and spoke about their experiences on handling classes live. That was number two. Number three, we also introduced something called the Big Talk. The Big Talk was mainly for students and teachers and the community, wherein which I brought in people with background of civil services, with background of defense, with other paramilitary forces. So all this were pulled in and they were asked to talk about how do our children choose their career. So, it was almost, I think, started off in June and we are here today in September. Amrita would have done close to more than 70 such live programs based on those facts which I mentioned to you. And that's how we got connected, and we still continue to get connected to the teachers, to the students, and the community.
Mr. Imran, from you we would like to know, first of all, because you have learned everything on your own, what pushed you towards this self-learning? You have donated 52 apps for free to MHRD. Where did this whole idea come about?
I am a teacher, and as a teacher, we have also various challenges in our day-to-day life, and it's the reason of this all app innovation and creation of apps and donation to country. In 2010, when I was in a rural school, there were 100 plus students and I was a single teacher. So I have to search such new technologies to take multi classes and use playway method. That's why I started to create various type of TLMs like flashcards and projector based slides, etc. After that, I received a computer in my school. So I think that how I can use this computer in my teaching learning process. So I created websites there. First of all, websites are being used in teaching learning method, and we can watch that mobile is too much liked by students. So I think that we have to create this device as a educational tool as well. So I created educational apps in 2011 and 12, and after that continuously create various apps according need of the students, and now we have more than 85 educational apps with more than 22 million users. In 2015, I found a chance to share my ideas with the HRD Minister, which is Smriti Irani, where I present my apps in a seminar that was also related to NEP, and I find a chance that I can give these all apps to country. So I donated these all apps to HRD in 2015. So it was actually a chance to serve for a country, and I was lucky enough, though each and every teacher do the same thing.
Professor Kuti, what are the innovative solutions and learning tools that Amrita University offers, and are any of these available for free to learn?
As early as 2011, 2012, Amrita had brought in, which is called Amrita Create OLab. OLab is online labs. I just want to mention about the current situation when the teachers do teach students through online theory part of it. How do they go in for practical? I mean, can they do a practical sitting at home on an online basis? In fact, Amrita brought it 2012 for the reason that there are remote areas in our country where our learning cannot go there because of few reasons that it is not reachable at all. Those areas are not reachable. So if you have to teach those students and teachers in the remote places, The NCRT wanted us to introduce something to do with online labs. So we introduced under Amrita Create. Amrita Create is Amrita Center for Research in Analyticals, Technology and Education, along with CDAC Bombay. CDAC is Center for Development of Computing, Advanced Computing. So along with CDAC and Amrita, with the support of Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, we developed this what we call as online labs, which we developed about 5-6 years back, has come handy today across the board, that today the children sitting at home can conduct practical examination from 9th standard to 12th standard in physics, in chemistry, in mathematics, in biology and in English. So this is something which we introduced long back, and today's COVID-19 situation where there is nothing called going to a traditional lab and conducting experiments. Teachers can sit at home and teach practicals. There are about 136 practicals, and today they can learn it. And this is something given across to all the schools, totally free of cost. And I think this is one of the greatest contribution that Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham has done during the times of COVID-19.
Ms. Natasha, since you are an education advisor, could you throw a bit of light on how the teaching style and habits have changed due to COVID-19?
The fact is that the entire role of the teacher, the educator, has changed through this paradigm shift that has taken place. Teachers are not there just to impart knowledge. Teachers are there as also inspirational beings who are there with you on a daily basis. They're the ones who motivate you. They're the ones who can guide you. Their wisdom is also very important for students who are going through different aspects in their daily lives or thinking for the future. So now you have a situation where everything is available at the click of a button in terms of the knowledge. And the other part that is there that comes with the teacher is now suddenly missing. So therefore, it's impacting on both the teachers and the students, where there is where there is isolation, and it is leading to some mental health issues. So it's really important to get a way of training where teachers are able to reconnect in a slightly different way to be able to have that kind of bond in the way that they did have before.
Now, to deal with the challenges of online learning, teachers are coming with their own ingenious hacks. A video of a maths teacher from Mumbai went viral when she used refrigerator tray to teach. Let's take a look at this.
Our principal sir gave an idea to use a stand, the wooden stand with a hole to keep the camera on it. Everyone doesn't have that. I thought that if it is a transparent material, it will be very easy to teach. So the glass material I found from the fridge. So I took the tray out and started to teach, and even it picked up. I was really surprised because I didn't know it was really viral to the country, because a person called me. She informed me that, ma'am, your video is viral, so what do you think of it? As she informed me, and I was really surprised. Really, I was very happy because nothing I invented, only I have just created a small idea to teach for my children.
It's time we head into a short commercial break. We'll be back with Amrita University presents Salute to My Teacher. Welcome back after the break. You're watching Amrita University presents Salute to My Teacher in association with Republic TV. Before the break, we were talking about how COVID-19 has brought about a much needed revolution in education sector. And now in this segment, we will look at the future of learning. So let me take my first question of the segment to Professor Kutty. Professor Kutty, I would like to ask you is that since there's so much of innovation happening in the space, how does the future of learning look like to you?
It's very clear that it's not going to be the same what it was 6 months back. And the future is going to be on a blended learning system. I'm sure in the next 2-3 months when the schools reopen, it's going to be not 6 days a week we go into the school. It's going to be choosing between how many days one should be going to schools and how many days one could be learning from home. So the future would be more onto the blended learning system, which I'm sure will be introduced by mostly all the schools across our country. So no more going to schools for 6 days and then, 1 day holiday on a Sunday. So you can forget that. There'll be few days to school and more days of learning from home.
Mr. Imran, you are a teacher yourself. I would like to ask you, how do you look at it, this new normal in education?
In the context of NEP 2020 and same time COVID-19 era, it opens new opportunities for rethinking the goals of education. Like one of the goal to create the curriculum relevant, that will be the first task, appropriate and responsive. Same time we can say using technology to achieve 21st century goals via education, we'll have to rethink by educationists and policy level. So we can say it will be a new opportunity to rethink and reshape the whole education system.
Ms. Natasha, let me bring this question to you. Do you believe that COVID-19 has actually been a catalyst in bringing about a wave of change in the way we teach?
The disruption in this, I think, was going to happen anyway. There's been a lot of online programs happening over the years, but we've all been taken aback with this paradigm shift that has happened. By schools going on remote and teaching remotely does not mean that they are ready for the online teaching. The content has to be adapted, which it hasn't as yet for most institutions. There may be very few. Even if you look at universities across the world, they are resorting to other online providers who've been working in this space for many, many years and have adapted to it. I mean, there's a lot of edtech companies who are now coming into this area and are doing very, very well as a consequence. So I think a lot more adaptation is required at this point.
It's really important to mention the new education policy 2020, and I would like to go to you, Professor Kuti, with that question. How do you think that is really the need of the hour?
1968 Kothari Commission, 1986 again education policy, 1992 we did a bit of tinkering about our education policy. It's almost 34 years since we waited for a new policy to come into effect, and it is always required because we need to scale up ourselves to the global standards. And I'm sure this global standard, we need to be the top 3 economies, which I'm sure will come through in terms of the GDP moving up in the next few years to come in. But most important is there are 2 things which are most important for a nation to globally recognize. One is the health, the other is the education. So these reforms have been brought. There are many such reforms brought through various suggestions given by more than 250,000 people across the country. And these suggestions have come from the best of the brains, the best of the experienced people. And when you put it into practice, I'm sure in the next 15 to 20 years, I think that's too much, maybe in the next 10 to 15 years, India would be matching with all other universities and schools across the globe. I think that's what I feel this NEP 2020 will bring across to our nation.
And before I let you all go, I would like to ask all 3 of you, the teachers, the students who are watching the show right now, what is your message to all of them?
Actually, I want to give 2 messages here, one for teachers and one for students. This difficult time is not first time in human history, we can say. Before COVID-19, other pandemics are also there. But still humanity continue to progress, and education play crucial role in it. So teachers should ensure that education should be continue. And now we have technological advancement and various technologies so that we can teach in distance mode as well. It's the important time for teachers to gain skills for distance learning and learn new skills so that we can ensure teaching. Same time, I want to say to students that it's your turn to ensure self-learning. Actually, the best way to learn is self-learning, and there are teachers are also there. You can connect with them via phone or web conferencing tools. You have to ensure self-learning. You have to find proper educational content on the internet. I think students can learn in this time also.
The one thing we all have to expect is that change is always going to be there. And this change has come to us in a very rapid way. And this too will change, and we will adapt, and we will go forward.
Stay cool, stay focused. Why I say stay cool and stay focused is for the simple reason that every student who are viewing this must develop the 21st century skills, the 4 21st century skills, which are communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creative thinking. So if you're able to develop this 4 in the next few years of your education, maybe 5 or 10 years of education, you could turn out to be a successful person. In addition to this, there are 2 more 21st century skills I would like to add on to both of you, that is the teacher as well as the student, is citizenship and character. If you're able to develop these skills, I'm sure, along with your curriculum, the academics, you make wonders for our country.
So we heard it from the teachers that they think that the children should be more focused and they should be cool at this time. But what do students think?
I miss the frequent debates and discussion with my teachers.
First of all, I miss all the interactions and the discussions I made with my friends and teachers.
So it does not feel the same feeling which we have in our classrooms. I think that's one of the things I miss about school.
They have done so much stuff for us, and I just say thank you, teachers.
I would like to give this message to not only my teachers but teachers all over India and the world, that you are doing a fantastic job. You know, the profession of teaching is the backbone of the nation. I would like to thank every teacher for doing so.
They are learning these new techniques. So I want to thank my teachers and grateful that you are teaching us.
So it's come out really clear from this conversation that COVID-19 has sparked a big revolution in the education space. And also talking of the new education policy, it has been the need of the hour, and if it is truly followed in its letter and spirit by all stakeholders, it can bring about far-reaching transformation in education ecosystem in our country. Thank you to all our guests for talking to us and joining us for this very special show. You were watching Amrita University Presents A Salute to My Teacher in association with Republic TV. Stay safe, stay healthy, and before we let you go, once again, a big thank you to all our teachers.